So living abroad, it's like a roller coaster, right? Especially when it comes to culture shock.
Absolutely. It's that wild mix of emotions, isn't it? Yep.
Right. So one of the main things to keep in mind is like the spectrum of symptoms you might experience, ranging from sadness, loneliness, even headaches and insomnia.
Yeah.
It's almost like your body and mind are having their own little rebellion.
And it's not just physical, is it? I mean, there's that internal dialogue where you almost question if the move was the right decision.
Exactly. That inner debate is huge. You might find yourself idealizing your own culture while you're trying way too hard to adapt to everything new.
Right? It's like you're pulling in two different directions at once.
And then there's the whole four-phase process that people go through. The first phase is the honeymoon stage. Everything's bright and exciting, new language, people, food, the whole
Yep, it's
package.
that spark of joy. But obviously that doesn't last forever, does it?
No, exactly. Once you pass that initial burst, frustration often sets in. This is when, well, the constant miscommunications and unspoken cues really wear you down.
It can be exhausting. I mean, just thinking about missing your bus or not finding your favorite meal, it just seems to pile up and like overwhelm you.
Right. And that frustration is more than just annoyance. It's about feeling lost about the whole purpose of the move too.
Yes, that drop in morale makes you question whether all these cultural differences are worth it.
And then after that stage, you have adjustment. This is when things start slowly aligning. You begin to, get a handle on the language and local customs.
It's like learning the steps of a new dance. True, it's that turning point where the new environment becomes a bit more familiar.
Exactly. And you start building your network, finding friends, even joining communities that keep you grounded.
Yeah, that community really makes a difference. But I do wonder, don't you think that sometimes the adjustment phase can be a bit overstated? I mean, for some people, it might go from frustration to acceptance without much of a middle ground.
That's a fair point. Of course, every experience is individual. Yet generally, many people report a gradual easing of tensions before they fully settle in, transitioning into what we call
Exactly.
acceptance. In the acceptance phase, you're not necessarily like totally understanding every local nuance, but you're comfortable enough to live and thrive.
It's kind of a realization that you don't need every single detail to fit in perfectly, right?
Yep, precisely. It's about finding that inner balance where you can appreciate the differences without feeling constantly overwhelmed.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is that this whole cycle, with all its ups and downs, actually shapes your character. It's like these very challenges eventually become the stories you tell about your growth.
Right. It's transformative. Living abroad expands your perspective and molds you in ways you never expected.
Exactly. It's quite remarkable.
For instance, during that honeymoon phase, every moment feels like an adventure. You're soaking up the newness, wanting to try everything.
But then, as reality kicks in, the frustration can really test your resilience. Like the language barrier, the miscommunications, that's tough.
True. Sometimes it's like trying to decode a secret language with hints that keep shifting. You might even experience physical symptoms like headaches or insomnia as your body adjusts.
Yeah, that physical toll is real. And when you start adjusting, it's like each small victory, a conversation that goes well, finding a comforting food. These moments begin to build a new sense of home.
Well put. It becomes a process of slowly rediscovering your world. Even if you're still missing certain aspects of home, the new environment begins to support you in its unique way.
I do, however, sometimes worry that the emotional toll might be underestimated in these types of discussions. Not everyone bounces back as quickly into adjustment or acceptance.
That's true, and it's important to note that these phases can vary greatly. For some, it might take months or even years.
No one size fits all, right?
Right, and the key is recognizing that it's a natural process. You don't have to rush through it or feel ashamed about the tough phases.
It's all part of the broader journey of cultural discovery.
Exactly. And while there's no one recipe to prevent culture shock, embracing each phase helps you grow.
Indeed, each phase is a lesson. It's like learning to ride a bike. You might fall a few times, but those falls teach you how to balance better next time.
Yeah, it's like the bumps on the road really are the stepping stones to understanding your new environment.
Right, every bump counts.
And look, even though it can be pretty intimidating at times, culture shock opens you up to a world of diverse experiences and ideas.
True, and for anyone feeling overwhelmed, it's a relief to know that those feelings are common among people who live abroad.
Absolutely. It all encourages cultural curiosity and enhances your adaptability. You get exposed to different viewpoints, and that enriches your life immensely.
And that's something many returnees say. The experience abroad completely transforms the way you see life.
Exactly. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving despite the initial shock. Even the frustrations help shape your future interactions.
Well said indeed. And you mentioned like physical symptoms earlier. It's fascinating how our bodies mirror our internal battles, isn't it?
Yes, sometimes the body literally feels the stress, but over time, as you adjust, those symptoms tend to fade as you develop healthier coping strategies.
Right, and that's when you start truly feeling at home. I guess the key takeaway is to not let culture shock be a scare tactic. Instead, we should see it as part of the adventure.
Exactly. It's a rite of passage, a challenge that, once overcome, leaves you richer in experience.
Absolutely. And even if the process is messy, each phase builds towards a more nuanced understanding of both your native and adopted cultures.
For sure. In the end, living abroad is less about erasing your roots and more about expanding your branches.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to look at it.